Rig Nation? This is the Mad Hatter, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing of a CaseLabs SMA8 in gunmetal gray. Also be doing an assembly video because even though this box is really huge, it comes flat packed, which means it's disassembled. They do this to save on the shipping, and they pass that right along to us. First, we have front fan / radiator mount, motherboard tray. This actually slides in and out of the case. It's one of the things that I really loved about CaseLabs when I first saw their cases, was that the whole motherboard assembly can just slide out, so you can build the computer outside the case and then slide it in. Hard drive bays. Instruction booklet, rear panel for the motherboard tray, another hard drive bay, the power and reset switch, the accessory bag, we'll go over it here in a second. Bottom radiator mount. This will fit a 560 radiator. That's a quad 140mm radiator. The side panels for the bottom section. The top panel, and I got the 39mm extended with the ventilated top. I did this because I wanted to be able to hide my ugly Noctua NFF12s underneath it so that I could run push-pull one day, and just so you wouldn't be able to see those freaking ugly fans. Mid plate for the chassis. Front panel of the case. The top of the case, and the bottom of the case. Back panel, the back wall that the motherboard tray slides into. And the side panels with the extra large window. Alright, let's talk about this accessory bag. So, comes with a bag of cable ties, a bag of assemblies to help push everything together, because you build the frame and then all those panels that I showed you just snap into the front of it with metal connectors. These look like they could be the feet. There's some rubber grommets. Some bracket kit. The hinge assembly for the doors. Power supply cover panel, handle for the motherboard tray, a nut driver. This will help for putting in like the motherboard standoffs. Well, these are the case feet, and I'm not sure what this is. It just, the label says Tech Station 101. some countersunk screws, and the motherboard standoffs. Okay, so the case is built now. So here's a quick overview. Like I said, I chose the extended ventilated top. That way I can hide my ugly fans from sight. Because I can just line them up right across the top here. You can put a 480 millimeter radiator. That's a quad 120 radiator up here at the top. Like I said earlier, this motherboard tray slides in and out, so you can take it completely out, assemble the system, and then slide it back in. Then just do all your cabling. Everything just snaps together at these ball joints that they have built in, even the door. And the doors just come right off. Just like that, they just come right off. They have hinges. Assembling it, that was probably the one tricky thing that I did run into was the hinges. I would recommend the hinges on the back plate here, screwing them in before you attach the back to the rest of the case. Down at the bottom, like I said earlier, you can get radiator brackets like I got, and you can attach up to a 560 radiator, a quad 140 down here. I already have one of those that I'm going to be putting down there. There is room for 2 power supplies if you want to run that, or if you have that radiator in here and then you have the room for the power supply, you can put your pumps down here. The I/O panels. The input-output panel with the reset and or the power and reset switches. It does come standard with a slot, so you could put some sort of card reader or USB module in here. I opted for the blank panel, so I'd have the nice clean front look. You could fit two big platter hard drives right here, and you could fit up to 4 SSDs here, and this would be the mounting block for the USB module if you wanted to put it in. CaseLabs does sell one that they recommend, and they'll even paint it to match your case for you if you like. Now, as far as cable routing space, there is a ton of space. As you can see, my fingers are going all the way up to that second knuckle right here. Not the most scientific method of measuring, but still you can see that there is just a huge amount of space here. Seems like all I do is to take this top part off. That is how much space you have. Right there, that huge gap. You could run tubing back here and not have any problem. In fact, I've seen quite a few people do that in their builds. Alright, so answering some questions that probably are milling around in your head right now. Why go for a case this big when there are things like the 900D out there? I've worked with cases around that size, and frankly, all the prefab cases that I've worked with that are that size are just way too flimsy. Like, you'll notice this case has no give whatsoever in it. Not only that, but they're quite a bit heavier than this case is. This case is not nearly as heavy because it's completely made out of aluminum. There's not one single piece of plastic in here except for like on these Vandal switches maybe. It's all aluminum, no steel. The other thing, the 900D likes to have their drive bays up front where you can kind of see them through the window. I think that's ugly. I like how these are hidden back here. It also makes for a lot better airflow through the case if you don't have those drive bays getting in the way of the airflow and blocking the fans. This also has much more radiator options in it natively than the 900D. It's a lot more modder friendly because nothing is riveted. You know, you just watch me put it together, so you know that I can take it completely apart if I wanted to, if I wanted to drill holes in something or mod it up. Quite a few people I know have the 900D and they're happy with it, and that's good for them, but I wanted something more out of this case, so that's why I went with CaseLabs. One argument is going to be that CaseLabs is more expensive, and I would say that you're paying for quality. This is all hand machined. It's not, they keep zero stock, so it does take them a little while to make it, but you place their order and they pop it off the line for you. It's a one-to-one. It's just like buying an exotic car. They paint it for you right then. They machine the whole thing. Every single case is made to order. The other thing that I've not liked about the 900D is it just seems like they have to compromise so much on options. Like they didn't include a mid plate with it. They didn't include mounting brackets for certain water cooling stuff when it's supposed to be like the ultimate water cooling case. It doesn't have the sliding in and out motherboard tray. So certain things during the build are going to be a pain in the butt. I know many people have complained about when you take graphics cards in and out that it's hard to get to the screws on that I/O panel, and that you have to use a flimsy tool that they give you to do it. Whereas here, you just take this out, motherboard, cards, and then it slides right back in. I'm going to try not to ramble too much more. Thank you for watching the video. This is my first video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it. Subscribe if this is your first time seeing us. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.